GOP caucuses and primaries bore me. I should say the mindless Ted Baxter 24/7 cable news mainstream sock puppet sheeple media coverage bores me, and here's why. And let's look at it this way. Ask yourself this question and be honest. Assume arguendo, for the sake of argument, that in every state in this great country, every eligible Republican voter was a Ron Paul supporter and will vote for Ron Paul. Assume that in every caucus and primary, Ron Paul gets 100% of the available Republican vote. Now, do you think there's any way in hell that the RNC, the Republican National Committee, would let Ron Paul be its nominee? Ask yourself, is there any way that Ron Paul, an anti-globalist, super-libertarian who wants to end the Fed and, if nothing else, at least audit it, would tell the UN, IMF, WTO, World Bank all where to go, who'd end the fictional war on drugs and terror, who'd bring the entire American military home instanter? Ask yourself, is there any way that he'd be let anywhere near the White House? Ask differently, can anyone who gets the votes and support become president? You know the drill. Anyone can be president, right? The Frank Capra, Mr. Smith goes to Washington bit. Do you think that the RNC or DNC in a globalist world would let anyone near the Oval Office who wouldn't sign on to each and every military exercise that a globalist agenda mandated? Or a president who'd tell the public once and for all that the Fed is counterfeiting money? A president who wouldn't sign on to foreign bank bailouts. A president who'd veto legislation like the NDAA. A president who'd keep his promise never to sign presidential signing statements. A president who strictly construed the Constitution and vetoed every bit of legislation that was in direct violation of it. Absolutely not! So if that type of president wouldn't be allowed near the White House, even if he was unanimously supported, then it's rigged. And I'm telling you, if they had to shut down the system completely, issue an executive order, a PDD, declare martial law, name it, they'd do whatever. Because no one and nobody's getting in the way of this rigged system. There's no difference between Democrat and Republican at the POTUS or presidential level. So therefore, if no one, Democrat or Republican, would be allowed anywhere near the White House who pledged to destroy the status quo system, then that means it's rigged. And the mind-numbing 24/7 cable news analysis is an utter and absolute waste of time. Remember what FDR said. Presidents are selected, not elected. And it'll be Obama for another term. Just you watch. Comment as you see fit.